Lebanon struggling to find shelter for the hundreds of thousands of people forced out of their homes by the fighting between Israel and Hezbollah. Karolina Lindholm is the UN Refugee Agency's representative in Lebanon. She's joining us live from Beirut. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. I understand that you're standing in front of Ramlat Al Baida, where that one of the strikes, the latest strikes, has taken place. Can you just briefly tell us what you have seen when you arrived on the scene there?
Well, it's behind me, down by the seafront. And this is a place where some of the 815,000 people who have been forcibly displaced in just a week and a half had been trying to find safety. Many of them are sleeping there in tents or in cars during the night because they haven't yet been able to find accommodation with families or relatives or in private apartments or in one of the collective shelters that the government has activated. So they had fled from danger to there as an immediate or stop, and now they were experiencing this attack again this morning.
You said there were 815,000 people. The scale of that is really quite staggering. What kind of help can organizations like yours give to such a large number of people?
Yeah, it's a massive displacement in just a week and a half. And the government, under the Prime Minister and Minister of Social Affairs, is leading this emergency response. And UNHCR is one of the organizations supporting them to support the people. So what we provide, for example, are essential items to displaced people who find shelter in one of the schools that the government has opened for IDPs to find shelter. So we provide mattresses, blankets, sleeping mats, and other essential items. So far, we have supported around 67,000 of the internally displaced people in about 300 of these collective shelters around the country. But we see firsthand that the needs are immense. And, Prime Minister Salam said the other day that there is a risk of a humanitarian catastrophe. And we are on the ground with the people. We see it every day. And we agree. If there is not more urgent humanitarian support coming in to help the people fleeing soon, there is a risk that this initial shock and fear that people are carrying with them will turn into frustration and anger because people cannot afford food, medicines. They don't have a place to stay. They can't buy new clothes because they left with all they own behind them. So it's really, really urgent to support Lebanon and the people in the country as quickly as possible.
You mentioned there that so many of the people there have been shocked by what has happened to them. And yet, of course, we're talking about people who have been subjected to, over many years, periodically, to attacks from Israel and missile attacks on southern Beirut particularly. Have they been talking to your teams about what they are feeling about this and the kind of reactions that they are having?
Yes. So indeed, and many of the people that we are talking with and meeting with and supporting are now displaced for the second time. So, for example, yesterday I was in Tripoli in northern Lebanon, and there I met with a woman who had fled from Nabatea in the south to Tripoli. It had taken her 48 hours in the car to get from Nabatea to Tripoli. This is normally around 3 hours. And she said she chose to go all the way to Tripoli rather than staying in Beirut because she just cannot stand the sound of explosions and bombs, because she remembers it so vividly from 2024, and it's really triggering this trauma and fear. Many others that we also have met with here in Beirut or in the Bekaa, where they have sought shelter, say the same, that they left in a haste without bringing anything because they didn't even want to waste time packing the essentials, because they just wanted to get out of there because they have previously experienced what attacks can do. Again, another woman I met with in her 90s at a collective shelter in Beirut, she had lost 11 of her close family members in 2024. And then she had fled to a collective shelter here in Beirut. She was now back in the same school that had again been reopened with her grandson, and she was just shaking of fear because she was reliving what she had gone through in 2024.
Karolina, we have about 50 seconds left. I just want to quickly ask you, this is happening at a time when aid agencies like yours are being starved of funds, and we have covered that story regularly on Al Jazeera. How long do you think the UNHCR and other organisations would be able to maintain the help that you can give? We have about 40 seconds.
Yeah. So soon we will have delivered everything we had in stock in terms of relief items, because we've been working around the clock to get this out. We are 14% funded as of now for the operation. And if more resources do not come urgently, there is a risk, as I said, that these critical basic needs will turn into frustration and anger and social tensions in a country that's already fragile. So we need to be able to support the government, to support the people.
Karolina Lindholm-Billing, I appreciate you being with us on Al Jazeera. Thank you very much indeed.